Today we have the one and the only Elisa Danielle. Welcome to the Magnetic Online Leaders Podcast. Hi again. Hi, friend.
Hi, it's so good to be back. Or just doing podcasting again with you. I'm so excited.
If you guys don't know, for a little context, Alisa and I have a podcast that's still available. You can still listen. There's 2 seasons of incredible, juicy, magnetic, feminine
Delicious.
magic. Yeah, deliciousness. It's still on Spotify. It's called Space Buns. And it was such a beautiful, I feel like it was beyond an experiment because it was really helping me access my expression. So thank you for that. If you want a little bit more our edgy side, we're always edgy. Go and listen to that whole podcast. Go binge it. I get messages from people that still binge that podcast.
They said it's a good podcast to binge.
How are you, my love? I miss you.
I know I miss you too. I'm just so happy to be here, be back on the recording. So ready to give your audience some gems and be back. We just always loved our dynamic together. It's just so fun and playful and juicy. So I'm excited to talk about sisterhood and leadership and magnetism and all the things with you. So
Yeah. So we're gonna dive in. I'm gonna ask you this one question that I wrote out that I want to ask it verbatim, but then we can go into it. What does queen to queen mean to you in the context of our friendship or any friendship and sisterhood? And how does it relate to being magnetic in interactions and in relationships?
I love that. I think the first part of queen to queen, when I think of that, I think of it as I see you in your divine goddess, your queendom. I see you in your fullest expression. And in seeing you in your fullest expression, it's a mirror. The queen to queen part is a mirror of where I get to also be in my queendom with you. And I think
Mhm.
that's something we've always been for each other, is just holding that mirror for each other of what is possible and being expanders for each other. And we just celebrate each other so much. I know you're one of my friends that anytime something amazing,
Lulu.
I want to celebrate with Stefi. And I know that you're not going to shame me or judge me. You're going to be in celebration with me. So to me, that's what queen to queen means. And it's also just we rise together. When something amazing happens for me, it happens for you too. And it's just like a juicy manifestation of goodness that we get to experience together.
I know. And I love it because people will say, especially with our interaction, like our interaction's like so special and so connected, but it didn't start out that way. It started off with us really me rubbing you the wrong way. And that, and that sounds bad, but like me, like I can go into what I was going through at the time, but, like, you reached out, and then I was like, "Oh, no." So Elisa and I did not start like this harmonious little space bunnies. We actually it didn't start out well. So, actually, could you give your side of the story, and I'll give my side of the story?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm like, I don't know if that's the right. It's not like we had tension, just yeah, so we both had signed up for a retreat with leaders that we were obsessed with at the time and on the online space. And they did a little reel of who's all coming to the retreat. And then I saw that Steffi was going. And at the time you were living in San Diego and you were at the yoga center that I went to. So I messaged you and this bitch let me on read. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, she's going to the retreat. She already goes to the yoga place that I go to." I was so excited. I was like, "We're gonna be best friends." And then I was like, "Okay, or not. She doesn't want to be my friend." Yeah. So then we got to the retreat, and I was just like, "Okay, obviously she doesn't want to vibe with me for whatever reason." So and I didn't have any tension or any bad vibes, but I was just like, whatever.
Mhm.
I was more at that point, I initiated, you didn't initiate back. So if you want to initiate, then you're going to have to make the move. I match energy. So I already put out the vibe. You didn't put out the back. So I was like, you're going to have to you never have to be my friend now.
I remember that, getting that response, getting that message, seeing the message, and then not responding, which is very unlike me to do. One, that's very unlike me to do, just like if anyone would know that about me. Yeah, it's very unlike me to do that. But then I remember when we got to the retreat and everyone was driving in, there was a lot of commotion. I remember feeling a little bit of not standoff energy, but maybe a little standoff energy from you because and I just didn't I just was like, "Okay, whatever. I just got here to the retreat, whatever, let's just go for it." But I left Elisa on red, and this is one of those things where, like the Don Miguel Ruiz "Don't take anything personal" quote, because I was going through a really, really rough time in my marriage and in my relationship. I never disclosed this, but, like, I was debating if I was gonna leave. This was
Mhm.
pretty bad, and the retreat was a way for me to go and explore that, and then when Elisa was, like, reaching out, like, such beautiful, positive, high vibes, energy matches energy. So Elisa was coming to me like, "Hi, let's be friends. Oh my god." And I was like in my dark goddess, dark soul, dark night of the soul, that was called? Dark night of the
Yeah,
soul.
yeah, yeah.
And so her and I were not a match.
Mm,
You and I weren't a match for that interaction, for that relationship.
mhm.
But then when we got to the retreat, we I love it how I thought you were a bitch. I thought you were a bitch. That's it's so funny. There's a funny meme on Instagram about that. But I didn't think Elisa was a bitch, but we just didn't have the, like, running towards each other butterfly relationship in the beginning. But I actually think it would created a more depth between us because when you and I sat together, we did eye gazing for
Mhm.
20, 30 minutes. No, I think it was like an hour, wasn't it?
Something. We got paired together or something. I don't
Yeah, we
remember,
got
but
paired together, and then I just had, like, this beautiful experience of Alisa, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I saw Alisa obviously, she's always gonna be gorgeous and radiant, but I saw her turn into an old lady, and I feel like I saw that because 'cause I'm like, "I'm gonna see her as an old lady, and she's gonna see me as an old lady, and we're gonna be best friends forever," and then we just hugged, and we fell in love.
yeah, we fell in love ever since then. It is one of those reminders of you never know what someone's going through, and it doesn't. Sometimes things don't mean anything about you at all. It's just
They didn't. It didn't mean anything about you, it was just text at the wrong time, and I meant to message you back, and then I didn't, and then it got too late, and then it felt awkward, and then when you're just, like, overthink it.
I get that way too in DMs sometimes too, where it just like, yeah, it just happens. But the universe wanted us to be together, and like you said, we have such a dynamic where we can meet each other in all of our emotions, and that's one thing that I love about our sisterhood and connection too. Is you're always just like you were a safe space for me, one of the first, like, safe space I had as a friend to be like, "Actually, like, it's not all love and light, like, this is what I'm feeling." Like, you're really good at sharing all of you and all of, like, "I'm feeling really messy right now," or, like, "I'm feeling just, like, really sadness," and yeah, so I think that's in some ways queen to queen too of we can share everything with each other
Mm.
and all of the emotions and be with each other in all of our emotions and still also be like, "Hey, I see you in your moments of weakness, but this is your crown. This is who you are. This is your magnetism." And we always bring each other back to that. And then one of the things I love about our connection to and our sisterhood is there's been times when I've been down and then I just see you and your magnetism and it lifts me back up to that magnetism and reminds me of what's possible for me and shifts my energy. There's been so many times when I remember one of the first times when you guys had moved to Austin, I just got off the all-nighter flight and I was just like, "Oh, I just wanna sleep." And then we went to barbecue and you were just, like, in such a good mood. We were, like, totally sober and everything, but you were just, like, in such a high vibe mood, and then the rest of the day I had, like, the best day, and that was a lot of,
Barbecue
like
always makes everything better.
and yeah, but you were just, like, being so fun and playful and magnetic, and it really brought my vibe up. That's one of the things that I love about sisterhood and community and our friendship.
Thank you for saying that, and I love you so much, and what do you think why do queens like to be with other queens? Like, why do you like to be amongst other queens?
I think there's something, like, juicy about feminine energy that is just so irresistible and, like I said, can help me soften into my own queendom and magnetism, and I feel like when a woman is really powerful and is holding that vibration, it allows us to also own that vibration and what's possible for us, and I feel like women who know that they're high value, know that they're queen, whatever word you wanna use, magnetic women, there's just a certain vibe about them, and I do feel like you can, like, piggyback off people's rides, right? So it's way more fun to have a friend that's owning their magnetism, owning their power, owning their worth versus someone who's, like, living from scarcity, living from lack. It's just a different dynamic of friendship where there's, like, more jealousy, more drama. But if someone's, like, really in their power of their queendom, that's just gonna help you rise into more and more of your expansion of your queendom.
Yeah. But you know what I notice when I'm around women that are jelly? I just cannot be around them
Mhm.
whatsoever. But there was a time that I was that woman. Were you jealous back in the day before, like, you became your most magnetic self, or were you never you didn't seem like you were ever jealous.
Yeah, I've actually since I knew that this is gonna be, like, the theme of the podcast, I've been thinking about this and dissecting this, like, a lot.
Mhm.
Because jealousy isn't really an emotion I've ever really felt, and one of a lot of my girlfriends have told
'Cause
me
you're a Leo.
not a Scorpio. I actually did dissect this in my mind of, like, why I'm that's not, like, an emotion I hold very much. Because I you could quote me wrong on this, or you could quote me wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure there's a Muslim religion that, like, their view of Hamid for women is that they don't experience jealousy anymore. Yeah, which but that says a lot though, that, like, women really deal a lot with this. But I was like, "Oh, I wonder why this is, like, something I haven't dealt." It's not an emotion I feel that often. It's not that I don't ever get jealous, but I think for me, what I've broken it down to is I really am in full power that, like, I create my entire reality. I'm in control of my reality. Like, I'm very, like, confident in my ability to manifest whatever I want. Anything I've ever wanted, I basically manifested. And obviously there's a lot more to experience, but it's just like on the way. I don't have any doubt that it's not coming and like I'm on the path. Like I see it coming. So I feel like a lot of women, if they're not embodying that, like where that jealousy comes from, because they're not confident in themselves to really believe or have that spiritual value and that confidence that comes with that.
Mhm.
So I think for me, what I really trained my mind to do, especially like on the internet and with other women, is if a woman has something that I'm desiring and it's triggering that jealousy in me, what I just do is I realize, oh, what is this inviting more of myself into? So that's why I flip the switch on jealousy when it does come up of, oh, and then I've trained my mind to be like, this is the universe's way of showing me like my upcoming attractions. Like she's
Mhm.
having this in her reality. So I'm in the vibration of seeing that this is possible for someone. There's some people that are like so far off the vibration of having this that they'll never even be close to someone who has this because that's how the universe works. So for me, when someone has something that I want that I haven't received yet, I just say that's for me. That's coming. Like the universe is showing me what's coming next, and that helps me quantum leap into having that thing quicker. Versus if I was to stay in jealousy and being like in a story of scarcity of being like, why does she get that? Like, people always get things that people or like some women always have things that I'll never have. Any of those stories, those keep me further away from my manifestation. So to me, I'm just like, when I see another woman having something that I desire, I'm just like, oh my God, let me celebrate you. Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm so proud of you. So that's why to me, I've really trained my mind in that way. To me, there's no jealousy. It's just showing me what I want. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it resonates, but it's not my experience. Which is so cool to have, like, different experiences from other people. I grew up extremely jealous. I think both my sister and I are Scorpios, and Scorpios, our shadow side is jealousy, envy, and I do feel like I really struggled being because I was so insecure, so fearful, all the things.
Mhm.
And so anytime I saw someone have sparkle or light, I was like, "Ugh, but I can't have that. I can't touch that. What is it?" But it's so interesting because I have the Leo rising. So the Leo rising in me wants that, is desiring that, is craving that. And if you spot it, you got it, right? In anything, in everything and anything. Even if it's bad, sometimes you're like, "Oh shit, why am I looking at this right now?"
Mhm,
But
mhm,
it's there for you. What I love about you is when you are extremely when you decide something, like, you decide, you're like, "Nothing's gonna get in my way. There will be obstacles, but I'll get through them. I'm getting to them. I'm getting from point A to point Z, and it's gonna happen."
mhm,
I wouldn't say jealous, I've just been more like I admired that about you because I was like,
mhm,
"Wow," like, her I wouldn't even say confidence, it's like conviction. It's like you put,
mhm,
like, the blinders on and you're like, Well, I'm gonna look at. Where does that come from? Can you, like, give us some of that activation?
Oh, I love thank you for seeing that in me. I love you so much. Yeah, it's definitely something that I have trained myself to do. It wasn't always like that. I think I grew up with more of a my best one of my best friends, my best guy friend says I got like a cheat code in life because my mom is like this shamanic goddess, even though she would never call herself that, but she has some codes, right? So I grew up with things around my house, like everything's working out best case scenario and stuff. So that was always kind of the default programming.
And your mom is very supportive and loving with you versus a lot of my friends have really some will call them narcissistic moms, some will call them, like, competitive moms. Like, your mom from it seems like your mom's, like, your cheerleader and more.
Yeah, my mom is like my biggest cheerleader. I feel really blessed. I have such a special relationship with my mom, which I'm sure plays into a lot of that. And my mom's a boss. Like my boyfriend was talking about my mom last the other night. Was like, yeah, I have so much respect for your mom. Like she's totally a boss. So shout out to my mom. But anyway, so let's like dissect this a little bit more. We love you, mom. We love you. Cute as like, I love her. But yeah, so let's just dissect that a little bit more. Yeah, so I think the biggest code and, like, reframe that I had that got me to that place of just conviction of, I know it's gonna happen no matter what, is I really did train my brain to manifest whatever I want, but the thing I realized for a long time, like, I was, like, a I guess the best way you could put it is there's people who dip their tea bag when they want tea, and then there's people who let the tea bag sit. And
Mhm.
I let my tea bag sit with the universe, right? So some people, if you're dipping, you're just like, oh, universe, like when I want something, I'll come hang out. I love the magic of that right now. Yes. See,
I feel like you put 2 tea bags in there.
sometimes, fuck yeah. The whole thing. I'm like, let's just fucking go. But yeah, so some people are like, I'll believe in the universe when it's convenient for me. I believe that I manifest something sometimes, but sometimes things are out of my control. And it's just like only like partially believe in manifestation when like things are working out or something just happened. But for me,
Circumstantial.
yeah. So for me, it's like when I took complete control that I can manifest whatever I want and that I'm in complete control of my reality. And also the universe is there to quantum leap my manifestations and is in full support of me, that's when things change. Because it used to just be like, "Oh, I can change my life to some circumstances, but some things are just it's just not gonna happen." But no, I changed my belief system till I stopped looking for evidence in this world and started believing more in the 5D world, because if you think about it, like, we wanna get, like, really quantum, like 99.9% of everything is energy, but we focus on that 0.1%. Like everything else is really, if you really want to get quantum, like everything is energy. We just don't see like the particles collapsing and creating these things. So most people focus on that, the percentage of what we're seeing, but in reality, like everything else is energy. And we just have to collapse the timeline and like with our focus and attention. And once I started to really understand like the quantum physics behind manifesting, then I was like, no, I'm not going to look in my reality right now, like in life for evidence. I'm going to create the evidence in my mind. And then from that belief, that's how it's going to manifest. And then, like, when I started focusing on that and realizing that it's like always my thoughts and intentions that are creating my reality, now I'm just like you said, I'm hyper focused on only thinking about things that are in the version of myself that already has it. Like, anytime I start to like worry or doubt, flip the switch really quickly. I don't even let my mind go into the negativity. Some people might want to call that spiritual bypassing, whatever, but I have everything I've ever wanted for the most part. So I'm like, when I do feel my emotions, I cry when I need to cry, but I don't ever let it get to that place where I need to really cry.
Mm.
Obviously, we love to cry. We love our emotions around here.
Sexy sad fuck, remember?
Are sexy sad books, but I've just gotten really good at flipping that switch. Anytime I start to spiral or have a little bit of doubt, I just think about the version of me who already has the thing that I want. And I'm like, she's the millionaire version of me isn't thinking about this. So like, why would I worry about this now? And that's really cut the timeline. So I just focus on the version of me that already has that thing. And then I live in the end. I'm always living in the end.
I love that. I was thinking about in friendship and pertaining to sisterhood because in friendship and in life, one person's up, one person's down. When Elisa and I are both up, oh shit, get ready. Like
Let's go.
we're manifesting, we're making things happen. But when Elisa and I are both down, like the storms are happening, like we're the waves are coming, which is beautiful at all places. But the thing is with sisterhood and with friendship is sometimes it can be a seesaw. So one of your sisters is up and the other one is down, and then the other one
Mhm.
is up, the other one's down. I like to think of it as a cup overflowing. How do you handle those situations when you are the cup overflowing and you're at the top of the seesaw? And then how do you handle it when you're at the bottom of the seesaw?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I definitely have
We've had those moments.
yeah, especially because like, last year was, like, one of the worst years of my life. I, like, got in a car accident, had a breakup, all the things. Like, I was definitely, like, on the bottom of the seesaw, and I think but it is, like, friends, and I did wanna lean on friends that were on the top of the seesaw because yes, I feel like one of the highest frequencies of manifestation is celebration. So, I'm down, like, I wanna celebrate my sisters who are up because that's gonna bring more I feel like a celebration for you is a celebration for me because it's all, like, the collective and, like, you being in celebration can help me, like, get in that frequency of celebration, so that's how I've always seen it, like, when I'm down on the seesaw. Yeah, I'm just like, "No, I'm gonna celebrate my friends who are celebrating because like, I might not have much to celebrate at the moment, but in me celebrating them, that's gonna help shift my frequency into celebration for me to have more to celebrate."
Yeah. And I also feel like when you celebrate someone else and then you're in the dumps or in the lower of the seesaw, your friends can point out the things that are at the height of your seesaw. For example, you're like, "Oh, I didn't sell anything or I haven't sold anything." Then your friends, "Wait, wait, wait. No. What about that package? What about that client? What about that? What about this? Like,
Mhm.
why are you hiding this from yourself?" I actually had this recently. And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Go me."
And it's so easy to, like, be on the outsider's point of view, especially with social media. You see all the wins, but then you forget that it's easy to forget that you have a lot of other things that maybe they don't have or other wins. So it is coming back to that attitude of gratitude. And one of the things I do that probably has helped me rewire my brain to be more in a celebration of frequencies. Every night I do write down everything that I'm grateful for that happened that day, that happened that week. So I really do think the gratitude practice. It seems so simple, but it's just compounding those things every day. It does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it helps you remember, oh, there are blessings everywhere. I'm just like focusing on someone else's blessings and not seeing my own.
I love when you and I are super high. Obviously, we love that when we're both like,
On our high vibe frequency.
we're just dolphins surfing, which feels really good. I feel okay. So this is a thought, an observation, a question. But yesterday I went to Barton Springs and I saw there was like just so many people at the pool hanging out. And I saw these two women. And this is whenever I'm like, I get so excited. I saw these two women, these two girlfriends just chatting, having this. Their hands were moving everywhere. They're like, they were just extremely magnetic and beautiful. Like the magnetism is beautiful. Why is it, or I don't know, just a reflection. Why they like stood out like a sore thumb. Like they just
Mhm.
stood out because they were just in this beautiful conversation. Why is it even better? Yes, you can be magnetic, but if you have sisterhood, if you have friendship, if you have women, and I know you do this with like your birthday and events, like you want everyone to look their most extravagant and greatest and beautiful selves. Why is it important to have everybody radiate at the same time and in conversation?
I love that. I love that you brought that out about birthdays because I always do. I love a theme, and anytime me and my girlfriends go out, I always end up dressing or helping people get dressed, and because I love just like setting the vibe. I think women really just set the vibes, and I think when you like compound all the magnetism, it just makes it more fun. It's just like
Mhm.
everyone gets in that frequency. And
Yeah.
then you also create like a little portal around you, like you said, like those women, where it's just like you're creating this like flow of energy that's just like delicious and magic. And yeah, I just think it's important for women to be in these friendships that just lift you up higher.
Yeah. Something that I learned from the retreat and I learned from our mentor back then was queen to queen, mentor to mentor, not queen to queen, woman to woman, mentor to mentor, coach to coach, guide to guide, shoulder to shoulder. holding and touching and not in a sexual way, just like petting your girlfriend's hair. Why is it important physical touch? I know you and I can't touch because we live in different cities, but why
I
is it
know, but when
important
we're
to pet your
together, yeah, but if you didn't know that we were yeah, we just, like but it's so platonic, though, so it's yeah, it's
It's safe.
mhm.
Yeah. When you were little and you're just, like, playing this high five game or hopscotch or you're playing all these fun things, like, or you're braiding your friend's hair, it was such beauty and such a community, like, we lose it when we get older.
Yeah, but I think it is, like, physical touch, like, we are wired to connect and bond, and I think it's just a way of connecting and bonding and feeling that sisterhood connection.
Yeah. I wanna talk a little bit more about the sisterhood, and then I wanna take it another route because I really want people to hear your codes on love.
You know, I love codes, I just want everyone to be in love.
What are some of the things that a friendship, a sisterhood need in order for it to be successful?
I think, like you said, the biggest thing with women is being able to celebrate each other. I think if that jealousy is there, then it's, you don't feel safe to share things, because you're not going to have as deep of a connection. So to me, that is one of the like core things I look for in friendship, like a woman that is owning her own magnetism and queendom and isn't in like a place of scarcity. Also, just it's just more fun if you're gonna like go to things and whatnot. You want to both be able to be on like the same level.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important in sisterhood, but also just like an ability to trust each other, that you're not going to compete, you're not going to steal each other's boyfriends or whatever. Those are like really core.
Oh, that is actually really ancestral, like, extremely, like, cavemen, like,
Mhm,
in the
mhm,
sense, like, you're f so you have the caveman and you and your friend are trying to get impregnated by him. If he has impregnated you and to say he's gonna go impregnate your friend, you are like, "No, because I don't want him to use his resources and his energy towards her, and
mhm,
he needs to bring me back the meat for me and our offspring." Isn't that wild?
mhm. Yeah, it's so ingrained in us that I think that is a lot of the root of jealousy between women. So I think
Mhm.
when we hit the nail on the head, we get that. I think we got.
That is crazy, but then there's something beautiful about sisterhood where it's you see your sister's friend, you see your girlfriend's partner as nothing but just a platonic person. You're like, "No, like,
Right.
absolutely not." Like, loyalty to the max sort of thing. And it was interesting because last summer I was there in San Diego and I had some interactions with some women, and I haven't been around jealous women in a really long time. And it's weird when you get like when you've been outside of the world of something and then you go back into it and you're like, "Wait, this is a thing?
Mhm.
We're competing?" Like, "Girl, I don't believe that there's, just a pie in the sky. I believe that it's an infinite sort of thing. You can have ice cream if you want. Go ahead." And I just remember her telling me all these things. I don't it felt braggy, the energy, like, "I have this and this and then, of course, me, I was like, "Girl, get it. Yeah, good job." Gave her a high five, and she was surprised by that, which was
Mm.
weird, and she wasn't used to that. And I know that I was an amplifier for her, and I hope that I helped her in some way to be like, "I am not here to compete with you. I'm here to celebrate you."
Mhm. That's beautiful, I love that. We need more all the sisters, that's how it should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I look forward to in a friend for sure, and obviously, I like to have fun, so you gotta be spiritual and also to be down to have some fun, so
So, we talked a little bit about the love codes, a little bit, tiny bit, just the tip.
Okay, let's give it to them full, baby. I'm just kidding.
You're so funny. You're so funny. Okay, so with love code, the thing was, you said something, and I won't say what you said unless
What
I
you I know
you
you're
said something a few months ago,
mhm.
and to be honest with you, I was like, "This girl is Delulu." However, because you have proven to me many times that your Delulu is the
The
solution,
Solano.
but you just, like, every time, you just always amaze me, like, when you're like, "I'm gonna do this." Like, you could tell me, "I'm gonna become an astronaut." And I would be like, "Yeah, okay. I'll see you on the moon, girl." I don't know, I believe you now. It's so wild. So tell us about the thing that you said that was gonna happen and then what happened.
Yeah, I basically, like, really claimed that I was gonna meet my person this year, and I met I remember texting I had this overwhelming feeling like, "Nope, I'm, like, gonna meet him this year." And then I was like, "I'm just gonna text my friends because I'm gonna tell them that, like, this is happening." And then I think I met up with coworker.
Yeah, she literally was like, "I'm gonna meet my partner. I'm meeting my partner. I'm meeting him this year. It's happening." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I don't know, sometimes the skeptic in me is like, "Oh, do you wanna take a moment, blah, 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 blah." But you were like, "Fuck no, I'm not doing any of that. Let's go."
Yeah, I think I just, like, got really clear on what I wanted, and I've already done a lot of inner work on my relationships and, like, calling in my person, and I was just, like, really clear with the universe, like, I don't wanna yeah, me and my other partner had broken up, and I was like, "I don't wanna wait for my person," like, love is the only thing that matters in the end, and, how much you expand your capacity to love is the only thing that matters. I just want to be in partnership, and I'm ready for my person, and I've cleared the space, be open to having the right partner, and done a lot of, like, work on it and manifestation and all this stuff, so, yeah, I was just like, "Nope, I'm meeting my person. I don't wanna wait." And now we're in love.
And even more things happening, but yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I even as your friend, as queen to queen, I was like, I was skeptic on it, and I'm so glad that you proved me so wrong because it just shows that your, like, conviction of what you want and what you desire and what you're creating with everything, like, with your home, with your car, with your space. I know you're upgrading soon, so many things.
Yeah, I think it's just that's what it is, so it's I stay convicted to it, I'm like, I don't ever have a plan B, that's the thing, it's this is
Mhm.
I'm like, I am open, like, universe, if you have better, I'm open for better, but I'm not open for anything other than this or better. I just stay on it's not like you're going on a plane, like, if you're going from here to New York, you don't just keep stopping on the way. "Did we get to New York yet?" So, you just go all the way to New York.
Mm.
We're not stopping for fuel, we're not stopping for to check out a mountain or something. We're just like, we're going straight to New York. That's how I just stay with
I've been doing that with my body yada yada goals.
yeah, you got some good body goals going on, Tiffany.
I do I do weight training and then I also do Legree, and when I'm doing Legree, there's this move that you, like, squeeze in your inner thighs. It's really hard, so you're, like, squeezing in your inner thighs, and you have to bring it up and over to your heart, like, it's, like,
Mm.
really tight. I bring it up and over to my heart, but I feel like when I'm doing that move, I'm, like, manifesting the tight abs, manifesting the body. I feel it. I'm very kinesthetic.
I think one of my favorite times to manifest actually is like when I'm in the gym because like you got the endorphins going, you're in a high frequency, like you're moving your body. I think like being in the body and the somatic part is a good way to move some of those like trapped emotions, some of those subconscious patterns that are maybe keeping you from manifesting. So I'm a fan of manifesting while you work out. So I'm like, yeah, girl, get it.
What are your goals or desires for your current friendships?
Ooh,
If
that
you were
that's a great question. I'm definitely calling in more friendships in San Diego because I feel like I have a lot of really deep connections, but a lot of my friends have moved
Mhm.
recently.
Where
I
have you
think
moved? I know I'm in Austin, but
a lot of them moved to Austin. One of my girlfriends is in Anchorage right now. Oh, she got hired on my airlines. Yeah, they've just a lot of them have just moved. So I'm moving soon. So I'm like, but then I'm moving back to San Diego. So I'm like more
you're doing like an interlude. What is that right?
yeah, like a
Intermission.
sabbatical. I don't know.
Yeah, you're doing like a sabbatical, which I
Yeah.
think is gonna be really good for you because
It's actually
you
great.
can rest.
I love it. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, so I think I'm really good though keeping up with my friends on FaceTime and texting and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, just more in person friendships. And I think my desires for friendships has also changed too because I'm like, I just want to have friends that just loving, fun, caring, but yeah, I just want to have fun and more in person stuff. I definitely want to build more of a community. I feel like a couple years ago, I was really, really focused on my community and I had like
Mhm.
a lot of friends. And now I'm more so, yeah, community is good, but also more so just about a few really quality friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really happy with the community of women that I have online and whatnot, but definitely more in person friendships. That's what I'm manifesting. Me and my partner were actually talking about that today on our morning walk because we are like, yeah, when we move back here, we're gonna like go to like adult kickball or I don't know, just do things more in the community to create. We want like couple friends.
So I love that you said the same thing because I feel like in San Diego, my San Diego friends are my lifers. I feel like my friends I don't really have that many friends here in Austin, but that was intentional because I really wanted to grow, like, deep with people, but
And I
I'm
feel like we have seasons. There's been seasons where I just wanted to focus on my business. I've been more introverted or like whatever was going on. So
yeah, but
yeah.
now I think that I'm changing, I'm shifting. I want more friendships and more in-person friendships here, but I don't think that I'm not go I don't know, I feel like San Diego and me are gonna find some type of harmony. I don't know what that looks like.
Summer at
Maybe
home.
maybe even living what'd you say?
I said summer at home here.
Summer home, yeah, something. But I see something with San Diego. I don't know yet. But I do actually it's so interesting saying this out loud, but I do see myself having more girlfriends here in Austin again.
Yeah.
The pendulum just swings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just trust the universe. Like every time I've had that intention, I feel like I maybe stayed away from it a little bit because I'm like, "Oh, I'm moving soon. I don't want to start something and then just move." But I feel like the times that I feel like you always call in the exact medicine you need. And sometimes that does come in a friendship. Like I've had seasons of my life where I've had a friend who's lived in San Diego and has become like such a good friend. And I needed her in that time of my season. And then we're still good friends, but maybe they move or now I'm moving or whatever it is. So I feel like the
Mhm.
universe always provides. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see the new sisters that.
Yeah, the new sisters, the new friends that I make in person and whatnot, but, this feels good. Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of healing around the sisterhood. I am still really picky about who I let into my life, and
Right.
I think we need to be picky and
Mhm.
discerning
And
and
energy for sure.
see the red flags, like, and see because I know you and me, we're very popular. Everyone wants to be our friend.
Yeah, it's like you gotta date your friends too. You gotta
Oh
it's
my
like
god,
see
yes.
the red flags, decide who's worth your energy, decide who you really vibe with on like lots of different levels, depending like what you really are craving in a friendship at the time.
I remember one time this chick wanted to be my friend. It wasn't really wanted to be my friend, but it just felt really and then she said something about herself. "Oh, I'm gonna chop my head off," or "I'm gonna" yeah, she said something like yes, like exactly what your face was. She said something really jarring about herself,
Mhm.
and I was like, "If you're saying this out loud, imagine the things that you're saying to yourself, and I don't wanna be around that."
Right. Yeah, so you have to notice like who drains your energy and who is like giving to your energy. Like I know every time that we hang out, like you give me energy. I'm excited. The last time I saw you in Austin like a couple weeks ago, like I was like didn't really sleep well. And I was on like I came back home or back to my hotel room and was like FaceTime with my boyfriend and we was like, "Oh my God, like what's going on?" I was like, "We're just so happy to see Stephanie. We had so much fun." It was like on that high vibe train. So you want friends that elevate your energy because your energy is your most important currency. So you want friends that are pouring into you, not taking away with their drama and
Yeah.
negativity or bad vibes or whatever.
I know, because bad vibes are just contagious and not fun, and even today, Andrew and I went for a beautiful walk, and then we went and got a coffee overlooking the lake, and
Mhm.
it was gorgeous, the vibe was good for a minute, and then a girl came and sat down next to us with her friend, and she was talking so much crap about her dating life and all the men, and how there's no good guys, just like the typical stuff,
Mhm.
and Andrew looks at me and he's, "Do you wanna go?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." We left.
Someone's like negative energy can really bring down the vibe. And yeah, and especially I love talking about dating and love, but I really do think having friends who think highly about men is going to get you a lot further than women who are having those experiences dating because that's the reality that they live in, and you don't wanna live in their reality, you want to be in your power, so if you're having a friend that's constantly telling you these things, that's in your ear, but you want people in your ear that is, "Love is great, there's amazing men out there, like, you can find your person and just, like, you could be right around the door." So you wanna be around women who already have the thing that you want or are, like, in that same vibe of what you're calling in.
Mhm. What does magnetic mean to you or magnetism?
I think magnetism means to me is it's literally like a magnet, like, you know that you are the magnet from your thoughts, feelings, vibration, and you could call in that frequency. So to me, that's what magnetic woman to me knows that she's in her full power, and her self concept about herself is one that like I'm the queen, I'm the prize, I love myself, I'm capable, I'm worthy, I'm powerful. That is a self concept that is magnetic and that effortlessly draws in all of the goodness of life. Like life wants to serve us, life wants to pour into us, life loves us. But it's like when we have that self concept, we become that magnet and then we don't have to force things, we don't have to do things. Things just come a little bit more effortlessly. We obviously still have to take action, but the universe just is working with us in that magnetism and that
Mhm.
self
And then how can women and friends be more magnetic in their relationships with each other?
with each other.
Yeah.
I think that it's just reminding each other and like putting each other's crown on when you're having moments of not believing in your power, just like reminding each other of your queendom. I think that's what we do for each other all the time. Like when we are having our sexy sad fucks moments, we're like,
And fixing
yeah,
her crown
yeah,
if it's messed up.
yeah, exactly. Also, just not putting her in her place, but just like reminding her of where her pedestal is and helping her put her back on her pedestal. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we can do for each other.
Yeah. You're such a good what do they call it? A girl's girl. If I have something in my teeth or if, like, my mascara maybe mascara or if something, like, is running or just you're like, "Hey, hey," or "Fix this," or you're like, I will do the same." And I have a friend that says, "I consider you an enemy if you don't tell me that I have something in my teeth."
Yeah, but you gotta look out for each other. So, yeah.
I know, as we're, like, both look at our teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what are you magnetizing to your life now? What's in the give us the behind the scenes, give us the scoop, tell us a secret.
Tell us a secret.
You don't have to if only
Yeah, probably a really epic wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
epic. I love the word epic for you.
Yeah, like immaculate. I have a couple different visions of where I want the wedding. I go back and forth between a European wedding versus and like super romantic. And then there's another part of me that just wants to have a rave in the forest. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided yet,
I could
but
see you doing both.
yeah, why not? Why not? So yeah, so
Kourtney
we're
Kardashian did
yeah.
both. She, like, did the whole, like, Italian goth kind of thing, and then she did, like, the cute California beach taking court wedding sort of thing.
Yeah, and then also, like, maybe one of them's, like, the honeymoon or what.
Mhm.
So, yeah, Europe and the forest are both in there, maybe the forest on the beach, we'll see, but, yeah, I've also just been having fun manifesting. I told you this before, my partner, he has, like, the masculine structure for his business, and it's been really fun to play with a lot of those members, so I have fun manifesting for him too.
You're the muse. Tell us whatever you feel comfortable telling us a little bit about being the muse.
Yeah, so I've really just owned my power recently and knowing that I am the muse and knowing that like the feminine is the energetic in the relationship,
Mhm.
both like receiving and like I energetically give to the relationship. So I feel like I am like the vision builder and like the manifestor and the high priestess, and he gets to go out and do the things in the 3D and do the masculine things and bring home the bread or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've really just owned that. And I think I've watched a lot of him just like in the few months that we've been together, just like really rise into more of his like
Mhm. And has he
leadership.
noticed it?
Oh, yeah, he gives me all the credit. You literally rewired my mind with the way you think about things and like your positivity
Mhm.
and like your energy and just like the light that you brought into my life. Yeah, I
Well,
like
I
it.
see that famous quote, "Behind every successful man is a woman." Yeah.
And even more
Powerful
powerful.
an even more powerful woman, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I've just, like, really owned that role, and I feel like when you know that, then it's you can be in that role and, like, actually channel that energy, and then I was thinking also in other ways of being his muse too, I do a lot of things to support him behind the scenes, like, I've taken on more of the, like, traditional, like, household roles of getting things behind so he has the space and capacity to go and do those big things that we want for our lives, so,
Mm.
yeah, it's really sweet.
So sweet. I love how in love you are.
We do. It's so fun, and I just want it for all the women because men are so great and they want to love you and treat you right and provide and protect and give you all the things that you want. So, yeah.
Yeah. And to get a little vulnerable, I've been actually really clear and honest with my husband about this because I feel like men and women are programmed differently. And he's a generator in human design, and I'm a
Mhm.
manifesting generator, which means I get short bursts, but I need rest. Elisa's the projector, so she rests, 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 and then she's I here to teach, and then she rests.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I love whenever I'm like, "Hey, I'm projecting real hard." Where was I going with this? Okay, so with my husband, I was telling him, "I want you to be," and this could change, just so everyone knows. Like, I would desire you to build the structures and the things and get the business stuff in place. And then I told him, "I'll get the relationships. I'll connect to the things. I'll do the sales," which I have gotten my human design reading chart, and the reader was like, You're amazing at sales." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." It was nice to get that reflection, and I realized I just wanna be in my zone of genius. That's all I wanna be. Like, the feminine just wants to be in their zone of genius, and then I have to create support systems with that, and I've gotten super clear on I'm no longer available to be at my computer for 8 hours. I'm no longer available to do, like, certain things. I'm no longer available to do a ton of customer service. Like, I'm not available for these things anymore, and I've had to tell my husband, and a little part of me was like, "Oh, I'm not a feminist." But then I also was really true to what I want and how I wanna be and how I wanna support, and because if I support in that aspect that I wanna support my husband in, it's gonna be extremely abundant no matter what.
I love that you, like, set those boundaries and desires because I do feel like and I love that you said, like, "Yeah, I don't wanna be on the computer for 8 hours." Like, I feel like, yeah, if that's not your highest expression, you're not really in your magnetism if you're
Not even 6 hours, not even 5,
yeah,
4
I really
hours.
believe women need more rest than men, like you said. So it's yeah, do what you wanna do for go hard and then rest because that's
Yeah.
actually where you're gonna be the most powerful. Or go and play, go barefoot for a walk or do something that puts you in your feminine energy. That's gonna be way more magnetic than sitting on a computer for 8 hours. That's not how the feminine receive. That's not how we receive our manifestations as women. So I feel like I love that you said that. And I also feel like side tramp, but I also feel like men fall more in love with women who, like, let the women solve the problems for them. So it's like you being like, "Nope, babe, this is, like, what I wanna do." Like, that just creates more desire and polarity in your relationship because he's loved to solve problems. Like, they're meant to solve problems for us. So you're
Yeah.
giving him the structure. You're giving him your desires, and he gets to fulfill on that.
And it's been really a big key factor in our relationship. Andrew's been sitting on something for months, for years. And today I did this I didn't do it as a manipulation tactic. I was just like, "Hey, do you not wanna do it?" And I said, "It's okay if you don't wanna do that. If you've been saying you've been wanting to do this for over a year,
Mm.
and it's not happening." It's like when people say they wanna do a marathon. You're like, "Alright, you gotta lace up, go running at 6 AM or go running every day for a mile or 2." I don't know, I have no idea. I would never wanna run a marathon.
Yeah. So you like baby steps. You
Yeah,
can't
you
just,
gotta
like,
take
do a
baby steps.
marathon right now if you haven't trained in years or whatever.
Yeah, so I told him, "Is this just your marathon that you don't wanna do?" And he was like, "You know what? Yeah, I need to," he goes, "I really need to think about that." It was good. It was like a good, like, exhale for him. I don't know what he's gonna do about it, but we'll see. I don't need to solve his problems. He'll solve it for himself. I just will be a guide.
Yeah, you just get to be the muse.
It's so nice to be the muse.
You little muse you. Okay.
Where can people find you? Where are you these days? Tell me all the things.
Yeah, Instagram's still my favorite platform to use. Elisa Danielle XX. You can find me there. I'm always not always on there, but
No, she resting. She rest, and then she'll
listen.
sometimes
No,
Alisa will disappear. I'm like, "Where are you on the planet?"
I did do that, but more recently, one of the things that I've gotten clear on is bringing back my coaching business. So you're gonna be seeing a lot more content. I'm also on Facebook, same name basically. So I have a lot of content that needs to be published. We'll make that happen soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll find me on there for sure.
Get a VA or someone to support you if you can.
Yeah, I had that download this morning actually. You would just get so much more done if you just hired a VA and do all the things that you don't want to do, like you
Oh my
said. So,
gosh, amazing. Yeah, and you can hire some really good people. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
gonna happen. it's
Good.
already happening. The women need the love codes. So yeah.
We need the love codes. We need the Elisa Danielle magic. And ha, I love you so much.
I love you. I love doing this with you. I love connecting with you. Thank you for letting me be on your podcast. I
Thank
love
you. Have a good one. Bye.